Welcome to the Roofing and Exteriors Influencer Series. I'm Associate Editor Anthony LoCicero. Throughout the series, we will bring you video interviews filmed during the International Roofing Expo from thought leaders. On this episode, I'm speaking with Dan Quinonez, Executive Director, Roofing Coatings Manufacturers Association. Dan, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here.
What is the state of the roofing coatings market, and what is the market outlook for next year?
Sure. I think it's been a very interesting few years. Obviously, with the pandemic, it changed the nature of the roofing world. What we found in the last year, about year and a half since COVID started, was that it seemed to be a tremendous growth and need for roofing companies to make repairs. And a lot of our members, we represent manufacturers, and our manufacturers saw very brisk sales. They saw a real need to make repairs, and it actually offered business owners and property owners, rather than replacing whole roofs, which would have been a tremendous cost, is to utilize our products to basically make minor repairs, and in the long term save them money in their efforts. So I think in an odd way, it's unfortunate the situation that's happened, but for our industry, we've been able to stay strong and continue moving forward.
That's good. How can contractors receive ROI on their coatings investments?
Sure. I think one of the big things is that learning and working with our manufacturers. Our manufacturers always want to see our products applied properly and effectively. I think a big part of that is training. RCMA right now is currently developing a training program for contractors to best use of our product. We also work quite a bit on the technical side to make sure our information is correct, up to date, and that adds assistance to the contractors themselves.
Okay. So with the training, that should help them with some of the challenges. So what are some of those challenges for them to be aware of?
Well, it's also how to applications, and I think sometimes we in our group itself we do a lot of the code enforcement and the type of products that are used. We also work a lot on the regulatory side. The chemistry is constantly changing. Because the chemistry is changing and the regulatory landscape changes, you see a lot of regulations trying to eliminate products within the coatings themselves. And I think over the last 20 years or so, because of those changes, they have a direct health impact on the workers. And obviously, our manufacturers want to make sure that we can put out the safest products possible, but it's also best use for the owners of those properties as well.
That was great. It actually leads me into my next question about how coating products are meeting the demand and being green.
It's an excellent question. An interesting aspect of coatings is, if you go back historically, it was it was the black tar, the goop. We are the goop kings, I guess they would like to say. The guys with the slop and the mop just put it on there, and that was it. It was a black tarish product. I would say probably in the early 2000s, there's been this effort for energy efficiency, climate change, protecting the ozone layer, and it started to see products of white coatings. And that had to, it deals with reflectivity and getting into the more climate change science and cooling of the earth through our products. So, like I said, back in 2005, there's maybe one or two companies that were offering it. Now, almost nearly every single one of our companies offer that type of product. And I think because of that, you're seeing a real effort to make our coatings more green. And it's just, I wouldn't say here just the United States, it's international. There's groups that are actually developing, efforts to say 1 million cool roofs. Some of the interesting aspects I've seen is if you can, apply white coats to roofings around the world, you can literally, help cool down countries. And that's actually been research, have been studies like countries like India looking to apply white coatings. So I actually see a tremendously bright future for the coatings industry, and the one thing that RCMA is trying to do is that we want to be a partner in that effort, and we've been really trying to work on the research, working with groups like the EPA and the DOE, and really participate in those efforts as much as possible.
Thank you for joining me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.